Hi, my name's Chris, and I'm an assistant railroad manager.
Hi, my name's Adam, and I'm Lord Beerus.
What does that have to do with...
It's a cat.
Oh my god, that's...
Oh my fucking god.
Why is that... Whatever.
You're the Dragon Ball fan here.
Yeah, but that's not the first thing I think of when I think of Beerus.
Well, okay, I was thinking,
No, it makes sense. I'm just saying that was not the thing I was going to get immediately.
Well, shout out to the people who got it immediately out there in the audience. You're the real ones.
Yeah. Okay, anyway, I get it, and I don't podcast.
But what we did do this week is watch a little film called Tom and Jerry.
Is that a genuine mistake?
Tom and Jerry Cowboy Up.
Yeah, Tom and Jerry. So we didn't have a better idea for the short amount of time that we thought about doing the podcast.
So it was a short film, so I just started scrolling through HBO, and I ended up going down this rabbit hole of like, oh, look at all these terrible kids films that we could watch.
Yeah.
And Tom and Jerry Cowboy Up was only like an hour and 15 minutes long. So I'm like, you know what? I can fit that in my schedule. And I wish I
didn't.
I wish I picked like the Never-Ending Story or something. Because that one's supposed to be good. Maybe...
How long is that?
Like an hour and a half.
Oh, okay.
The Dark Crystal's supposed to be good. That's also like an hour and a half, I'm pretty sure.
Then we gotta watch the show after.
Yeah, then the 20-something reboot.
But yeah, we watched Tom and Jerry Cowboy Up. And this is probably... You could probably know by now, it's probably just a short episode, because I doubt this is going to be longer than 50 minutes. I don't even know about 40. We'll see.
Oh, Tom and Jerry Cowboy Up. You cowboying up, Chris?
No.
I don't think anyone will after watching this film.
Okay, it's whatever.
All right,
very,
so
like...
a little bit of a preface.
Oh.
I like Tom and Jerry.
Sure.
I like the original cartoons and like whatever the reboots were where they
Very
had like
fun.
the man screaming. The old ones are good.
Yeah.
They're still making movies of off the Tom and Jerry franchise. And
They are, yes.
would you agree
Sure.
that the whole point of Tom and Jerry is the slapstick?
Yes. I did make a note of that. That there's very little... Like, there's maybe one scene where Tom gets flattened a little bit. And I was like, that's classic. Then after that, there wasn't.
There was not much slapstick in Tom and Jerry Cowboy Up.
There were some lessons.
It's a disappointing film that leaves you feeling hollow and empty, maybe depressed.
You watch it with a kid. They think it's fine, I guess.
Oh, who cares about the kid?
It's a kid's movie.
It's Tom and Jerry, Chris.
That's also fair.
This is a brand associated with quality.
You didn't even know that there was live action. Because I asked him, oh, why you didn't want to watch the live action? It's like, there's a live action? I think Chloe Grace...
We've come across dark times.
I think Chloe
We have
Grace
lost
does.
our way. We must bring things back to the way things should be when Tom and Jerry was a slapstick cartoon.
I mean, it still is. It's just very lessened.
Tom and Jerry is the highlight of my childhood, Chris.
Ugh.
There is nothing more in this life that I value than Tom and Jerry.
I don't believe you.
Season 1 is my old, Season 2 is my New Testament.
Is there only 2 seasons?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
I'm already tired of this bit. This movie wasn't good. Tom and Jerry Cowboy Up, go cowboy on down away from the... Stop making films, please. Or bring back the original. Maybe do like a Looney Tunes show with it. You remember the Looney Tunes show?
Which one? There's like 15.
No, like the Cartoon Network one.
Again, which one?
All right. The one that I know of.
Whatever. Okay, before that, TeaTime. We have cups of water.
Because we didn't want to bother.
I have a cup of water.
Yeah. It's too depressing.
Anyway, I guess we can go down the list of what happens in this movie. It's not a lot.
Yeah.
It's fine. Okay. So we first start off with we get introduced to the town a little bit, just like a pan of the town.
Yeah.
And then we get introduced to. I thought is that a meerkat? And that's a prairie.
It's a prairie dog.
Yeah, it's a prairie dog.
Meerkats are in Africa.
Okay, I don't know the big difference, but
biologically, I'm not sure there is one.
They don't look as lanky.
Sure.
Yeah. Let's see.
And we're introduced to them through a musical number, I believe.
We are. Is this musical? Like, I wasn't sure.
Tom and Jerry films have been musicals in the past.
Have they?
Yes.
Oh.
And, I mean, most of them aren't good, or at least the musical parts aren't that good.
Yeah.
And I would say the trend continues with a very lackluster musical number that, for the most part, is pointless, aside from, like, maybe 1 or 2 lines that they sing that are actually relevant to explaining what's going on.
I gotta say, when the musical stuff started, I was like, I know I don't want to be that guy, but I was like, where's Tom and Jerry? Like, who are these guys? I don't care. And then towards the middle of the movie, I was like, I'm okay with seeing the musical stuff. Like, it's fine.
Also, I will say that this film is probably a crash course in why you want to have a sound designer on your film, because there is a lot of like actions on screen that do not have any sound to them at all. For most of it, I felt like I was watching a previs. It was
any standouts too, or?
Especially the musical numbers. Like if. Okay, so if you've got a whole bunch of guinea pigs dancing around and like throwing things around, crashing into objects, if you want the audience to feel that as opposed to just like seeing it go by and then forgetting about it, you want to have sound effects like if you have a guy who falls over into a barrel and cracks the barrel, you gotta have to have a sound effect for cracking the barrel. If you have a bunch of people stomping around and dancing on the ground, you have to add in sound effects of people stomping around in the dirt. Or else it's going to look weird. It's going to look uncanny. Because it's not going to fit.
So those stuff.
Yes.
Gotcha. Because I was going to say, there's some, I don't know, a classic like sound design of less like when some of the characters move in the middle of the movie, they're like, and they just like the violin or whatever. They just have like a lot of their little movements have like very dramatic.
Yes, for like 2/3 of the sound library they're using like old sound effects that have always been used in Tom and Jerry.
Yeah.
But other than that, there isn't a whole lot new.
That's fair.
It felt like a very slapdash, like, all right, we've got a week before it goes out, and I'm the only one working on it, so this is going here, this is going here. I don't have time for a second pass through. We got to ship it.
Yeah. Well, speaking of sound effects that I just remembered, off topic though.
Okay, good.
I was watching this one guy who did a video on the Johnny Test. And
the original series?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
And he's like, I'll take a sip of drink
every time there's a whip crack.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Did you watch the video?
I haven't seen it, but that's a good idea for a stream.
He got very drunk. Like it was hundreds of times. It's a how many minute? That's like 10-minute episode. Like.
Yeah, because they air them like 2 episodes at a time. Right?
Yeah. And like it's crazy. Like
every time there's a screen wipe, whoosh, every time there's a pause in dialogue, whoosh.
Anytime there's a slightly sudden movement, whoosh, like, it's like how, why, what did they do? What was the what?
They had a very limited sound library to work with.
But like at the same,
they didn't hire any Foley. It was just they just had like the one file with the 5 different whip cracks, and they're like, all right, I can work with this.
But like there was a lot of like little movements that they did it for that I felt like the opposite of what you're saying for the music stuff.
Like they very much overdid it.
Yeah, you didn't need sound in some of those moments. Like it was just every movement had a whip crack. It's just like even if that was the only sound they had, like tone it down, dude. like Jesus Christ. So that at least this movie wasn't that, I guess.
Yeah. In some ways, I kind of feel like it's worse in the other direction.
It's just longer. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes for a much less interesting watch, I'd say.
There's a couple of funny moments.
Yeah, as you said before, in the few times there were actually like classic Tom and Jerry slapstick antics, they did use the classic Tom screams, but they had the volume so low in the mix that it had no impact.
Yeah, it was kind of low.
It was so ass. Like, as a sound designer myself, I was insulted.
Oh, they spit at you.
They might as well have. That would probably been better for the soundscape. Just get them for something, anything.
Okay, well, we didn't get past the musical bit, so.
Oh, good. All right. The prairie dogs were like, oh, how check out our town. It's a cool town. Better cowboy up.
Cowboy up. Okay, anyway, after that, why did I write this? Oh, I put don't keep drinking the coffee. I was like, why did I write that?
Don't keep drinking the coffee?
Yeah, because the three kids get into the Betty's coffee, and then she drinks it after they get out. I'm like, oh, okay. That's kind of gross. Like, don't. But, okay, there was a part I was like, why does only one of them have a diaper? And it's the one that talks the most.
Oh, well, he has issues.
But, like...
We're assuming that he has some medical issues that requires him to wear a diaper.
Why would we assume that?
It's the only explanation.
I feel like that isn't true.
Fashion?
That's more believable than... Yeah, he just poops more than the other ones.
Also, something to do with the mice. Something that pissed me off.
Uh-oh.
Is that the lady... I don't remember her name. Betty. She was very, very inconsistent about whether she actually cared about the well-being of the mice or not.
I did notice that too, because like
she's all like, "Oh, these are the good mice. We're family," but then she just doesn't say anything when her brother's trying to kill him.
I literally said, "Why doesn't she just say, oh, these are like my pets. Like I'll try to hide them away. Just don't, and so that you won't get freaked out, but don't hurt them." Like what? Just like
yeah, it like. Even later on, it would still make sense because the brother comes around to them anyways.
Yeah.
At the end, he's completely fine with Jerry and his nephews.
Yeah. This is a problem I just have in shows that we've talked about in other episodes of stuff.
Shit don't make sense.
No communication for things. Like miss or no communication for characters is a very easy way to
artificially create conflict, right?
Yes, and it is so dumb most of the time because there is like validity in not communicating, or there's miscommunication for understanding stuff. And when it's done well, it's great, but
you have to have some context before that happens about how you have to have, in your mind you have to be thinking, oh, it makes sense that he would have gotten this from this conversation.
Mm-hmm. Also, before we even get further, like, I know some people are going to be like, this is just a kid's movie. We shouldn't, like look at it like this. I highly disagree with that, like, idea.
Yeah, I do as well.
Like, I don't think, like, media can be for any specific genre, but, like, I feel like there are, or any specific group of people, but there are certain things that, like, can be followed and like structurally, right?
Yeah.
Like it could be for kids, but it could still make sense. Like I don't know why it's like, oh, I'm making this for a child. I don't have to think about it at all. Like I feel like that's so like dumb.
Yeah, I mean I get the logic behind it because it's like for most like films or TV shows that parents show their children, it's not because they want them to be more cultured or like discuss themes or whatever.
Yeah.
It's because they want to sit them down and not think about their kids for an hour.
Yeah.
But if you'll indulge me in a food metaphor.
Sure.
So you go into the baby food aisle of any supermarket, any like department store or whatever, you're gonna find a bunch of like random smoothies and tubes.
Okay.
And the vast majority of adults are never going to eat anything out of those tubes because it's just kind of gross. But at the same time, you as a parent would not want to feed it to your kid if you knew it tasted like shit. So why do we have that mentality when we're talking about kids' films? Like, why do you care that this pouch of mushy peas tastes like shit? It's for children. Why are you feeding your children shit?
I agree.
Doesn't make no sense.
Like the easy go-to for like kids shows is stuff like Avatar, right? It's like, yeah, that's for kids, but like,
but it's also good.
Yeah, but it's like super good. Like, or
Adventure Time.
Adventure Time's pretty good. I mean, it has its problems too, but like it takes itself more like you can. The thing is, you can be funny and comedic but take yourself seriously. Some of my favorite kids shows of are like Chowder and stuff. Like, I thought that was like pretty good because like some of the stuff that they do with that show is very clever and like very meta. And and that's, to me, like, that's so much like smarter because it has stuff to say and it's very comedic, and outside of it just being, oh, it's chaotic, like that's different than just say something dumb. I don't know.
Yagabagookabooku.
Yeah, like
Skaroobadee.
Yeah, like that. But I don't know what other shows I would consider like super well.
I'm a lot more fond of Flapjack now than I was back when it first started airing.
Flapjack is creepy though.
That's why I like it. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
We really do not want to talk about Tom and Jerry Cowboy Up. This is rough.
I mean,
it's such a nothing of a movie.
Well, we can get
there's like zero passion in any of it. Like, I can tell that the artists, like, they were going for an art style, and from a technical perspective, I'd say they succeeded. I wouldn't, but it wasn't. I didn't find it particularly beautiful or particularly like it didn't strike me as inventive from an animation perspective.
Yeah,
it looked. I also thought it looked kind of off how the characters had very like sharp lines and colored in perfectly, but then the backgrounds, everything's kind of more loose.
Maybe that's why, because I put that like the way the art style was very off-putting to me, and I wasn't sure why. I thought it was like the lines, because I don't know, the line art of the character and stuff, I thought was maybe throwing me off, just because the way that the lines are just slightly darker of the color that it's on.
Yeah, the characters are of a slightly different style than the backgrounds, which that itself could be a stylistic choice.
Which is fine. But
here
it doesn't.
It's not striking.
Yeah. Okay, well, where are we? I thought Clem was the farm guy, like the guy that works with Betty and.
Oh yeah.
I thought Clem was.
Yeah, I thought the mustache guy and the beard guy, I kept getting mixed up.
Yeah, because it's the same character model, like
pretty much. The head's different, the voice is a little bit different.
Yeah,
they have different accents. Could be the same actor. I don't know.
But yeah, I put Diablo the black and red horse.
Oh, that's actually the devil.
Yeah.
Like, canonically, that is the devil. They call him the devil.
In the original show?
No. In the movie, they call him the devil. He's El Diablo.
No, yeah, I know.
Yeah. And he can understand English, he can count, he can communicate. These are not things that horses can do. So, he has to be, like, actually the devil from the Bible. There's no other explanation.
I mean, the other animals communicate to the people and do stuff.
Yes, but they can't do math.
We don't know that.
And they don't have as much of a direct communication as...
They don't... That is true.
The horse was using his intellect. The animals were using their instincts and emotions.
No, I mean, Jerry and...
Oh, well, okay. That's different.
It's not different.
Yes, it is. You see, Jerry and Tom and Lightning and Shorty and Butch and the other one, they're all much they're sort of like halfway between animals and humans. They're a lot more anthropomorphized.
Yeah, they are.
They walk on two legs, and they have very human desires. They are deceitful occasionally, and trusting, and lovely and terrible, and all the things that humans are. But the only difference is that some of them can't talk.
Yes.
They're basically humans. The horses? Not so much. One of them just kind of snarls at the brother for a while, but he likes the carrot. The other one is pretty much sedentary unless you call it girl, and then it freaks out. That's much closer to like animalistic as opposed to human. If you're getting what I'm getting at.
Yeah, I get it.
We get to Diablo, who cannot talk.
Yes.
But has a very human understanding of communication and society.
Yes.
He holds a job as a receptionist.
Yeah.
The other horses can't.
That was one of my favorite parts.
The other horses can't do that, so he has to be a being of higher mental capacity. And they call him El Diablo, which leads us, the audience, to believe
he is the devil.
He is literally the devil. Your Honor, I rest my case. They put Satan in the kids' cartoon.
Yeah, which is fine. Do that more.
Yes, do it more. I think that adds a nice like extra dimension to an otherwise.
Well, okay. Well, speaking of the animals talking, the three nephews talk.
Yes.
Why?
Okay, there's a lot that I would like to cut from this film.
The three nephews would be one.
The three nephews I would cut. I would cut most. Okay, I would cut all the musical numbers because they serve very little to no purpose. The prairie dogs serve a plot function, but the way they're characterized and presented to the audience, I think, is terrible. I would cut it and replace it with something else. The way, in my mind, I was thinking like, oh, okay, they're doing sort of a Game of Thrones thing where the prairie dogs are encroaching on the land and they don't really know about it, so they're kind of like the White Walkers.
Sure, yeah.
So I'm thinking, okay, maybe we could redo the prairie dogs to make them like slightly intimidating and not have them speak or anything. And then when they appear on the farm, there's sort of like a classic like Dances with Wolves scene as Tom or Jerry is trying to like charades what he means to them because they don't speak, or at least they don't speak each other's languages. You know, that would be interesting. Literally anything else would be interesting. It's Tom and Jerry Cowboy Up. It's not good. It's not.
Let's see. I put the prairie dogs said that a mouse and a mouse and a cat entertained them, and I thought they were saying because we're still
we're still at the very beginning. I thought that they were going to. I thought the prairie dogs were acting as like the opening the cover of the fairy tale book into the actual film.
Yes,
but that never happened.
But that brings up the question: why did they say that the mouse and cat entertained them when this is the first time Tom's ever been on the farm?
And this was actually before they knew about Tom or Jerry.
Yes,
before they ever met him.
Yes.
So you're right. It doesn't make any sense.
It makes no sense. I'm like, unless they're talking about the girl cat, but I'm like, that doesn't make any sense because what do they mean by entertain them? Like, what are they doing? Like,
do they watch the cat
and Jerry
and Jerry?
I mean, they're cute.
Alone?
it is a oversight that I was like, why? Like, what's the point of this?
Like I can imagine them in the booth with the voice actors like, all right, say the lines. Don't worry, we don't get it either.
Like the thing is, like even if it's not to our liking, that's fine or whatever. But like some of these things, like like that line and just the some of the music stuff, like there's small things, right, that you could just be like, they just put in a little bit more. Just change a couple things. Just
like just proofread it once.
Yeah, why is the one maybe the diaper thing is like an old classic.
It might be an old classic thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I put I did tell Betty not telling her brother Like, they could have said something about that. Be all like, hey, they're my friends, and, like, I really don't want that to happen. And then he's just like, well, I still can't stand them. They're still, like, a menace. We need to get rid of them. And then she's just like, whatever. Because she makes a stand. It's like, oh, you can't kill them. But she just doesn't say, oh, yeah, you can't kick him out of the house. Like, even though you don't live here. Like, whatever. I like the portrait of the Cowboy Mouse from the original show. Like, there's a very brief scene where Jerry's walking inside their little house, and their little section of the house, and then there's the he has a big hat, he has a big old mustache. So it's like a Cowboy Mouse. This is like uncle or grandpa or something like that.
I believe that happened.
Yes.
I do not remember it.
He's in a portrait. It's very nice. I like that part.
Nice world building,
Yeah.
That's the thing about this show.
This movie.
Like, after you watch it, it's like you're only scratching the surface of what this world has to offer,
Yeah.
God, I wish I was watching Game of Thrones.
There's other anime you can watch. You're reading Berserk.
I'm reading Berserk.
A lot of thoughts on that.
That's a lot of thoughts on that one.
But not a lot on this, so let's just keep going. I don't like the way they portray Tom in this movie. Because he's portrayed as, like, I know he's portrayed as, like, not as smart as Jerry typically, but he's a lot more, like, conniving and clever in the original. In this one, he doesn't do anything. Like, he's not that, like, he doesn't even come up with, like, ideas for things. Which I was like, that's kind of lame. Like,
you know what? I think that, but for, like, the whole movie.
Fair.
So, yeah, this is very consistent. This does not surprise me. It should not surprise you. It's Tom and Jerry Cowboy Up.
Yeah, I miss Tom's schemes. Because he used to scheme in the original.
Yeah, he did. He used to, I'm pretty sure the classic railroad with Tom getting his ass handed to him, I'm pretty sure he planned that, but then it went awry. Yeah. It's been a long time since I've seen the originals, but
yeah, a lot of the stuff that he, like, it's just things that he does go awry. It's kind of like
the classic,
Coyote, right? Like,
yeah, or the very simple. Jerry runs into the hole, so Tom grabs the shotgun, but then Jerry bends the shotgun back at him.
Yeah. It's like he's either, like, overly violent. The thing is, like, I get the idea of making this, like, less violent for, like, kids. Because, like, realistically, you probably shouldn't be watching stuff like that. But also, it's like, I don't know.
I would much rather... We've gotten to a half hour talking about Tom and Jerry Cowboy Up.
In all fairness, we tangent a lot.
Cowboy out. What's next on the list?
I don't know. I blanked right now. I guess I'm learning bull facts about how the bulls don't care about color. So
well, yeah, that's like the first bull fact anyone knows.
I didn't know that.
Oh.
I don't know bull stuff.
Good. You learned something.
That's why I'm learning bull facts. I'm sorry, I don't know about that much bull stuff. I don't listen to much bull crap.
Ooh.
Let's see what else.
What else was this steaming pile of shit? What else?
Jesus Christ! I put the bandits' plan is working. Like, when they had all the, like, scarecrows, I was like, that's kind of funny. Like,
oh yeah, like, that's the White Walkers plot.
Well, when the prairie dogs, they look up and they're like, oh, they love these predators.
Predators, we're surrounded.
Yeah, I was like, okay, that's kind of good.
Yeah, that's kind of good. Yeah. Oh, also something that pissed me off.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure it's around this time when it happened. Tom moves onto the farm with the farm lady's brother.
Sure.
And the nephews and Jerry are talking to Tom, and the nephews are like, "Oh, all right, Tom, we're gonna help you out. We're gonna make it look like you're getting rid of all of the mice. But the deal is that you've got to let us live in the same place that we've been living this whole time." And then Tom's like, "Oh yeah, that's a good idea." And like, "All right, let's shake on it." And they shake on it, like in the classic cartoon handshake.
Yeah.
And then they don't do anything. They do literally nothing to suggest that the plan is going to work. Or
I thought they showed him chasing them a little bit in front of Beatley, whatever that's his name.
Beatley.
I think it's Beatley, right? Yeah. Oh, yeah, I think that's why. But also Beatley, I forgot. We completely forgot. Beatley says he's like a head locomotive person, but then he just lied.
Yeah,
and he's just like,
yeah, guys, I'm broke actually.
Let's see. It's and then it shows like Beatley trying to practice, being on the horse and stuff, and then it like cuts to a different scene, and it's like, wow, I can't believe you've been here a month. I was like, it's been a month?
Time skip, let's go.
I was like, why? Oh, I put the ranch is called WB.
WB?
WB.
Oh, WB. Oh, like Warner Brothers.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was like, funny.
Good job. It's a cartoon made by Warner Brothers. Who?
I put the baby mice sound familiar because I thought they had one voice actor, and then I was like, wait, those are different voices. I was like, oh, I just didn't listen to them.
I mean, all of those voices have been doing that exact same voice for fucking decades.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I didn't remember who they were. Like the one with the diaper was the one that I recognized the most. I don't remember who he is, but I noticed at one point, I guess, wait, why do the people have 4 fingers? I was like, oh. Ooh. Some shows do that, and it just freaked me out a little bit.
Oh my god. They drew the hands. Whoa.
Yeah, midway in the movie, the brother Beatley falls into the prairie dog pit, and was like, "Oh my god, I almost died," which I thought was kind of funny. He's just like, when they started saying, "Oh my god, yeah, you're so over dramatic," then I started not caring. But when he's originally just like, "Oh my god, I almost died," like we gotta get exterminators, I was like, that's kind of funny.
Yeah.
And then they like ask around for like cats and shit that are like mean and vicious.
Yeah, they give the test, which is like a solid 20 minutes of runtime.
Yeah, it's sort of
or like the introduction for the henchmen to bring the cats onto the farm.
Yeah, those cats are like the same cats they all like in the original. Like they were like the thug cats that tried to beat up Jerry and then get beat up.
Yeah, they looked familiar. I couldn't place exactly what they were, but yeah.
I did like that they were like competent. Like they were able to get the mice. I was like, oh, that's good.
Yeah. It's not just like a complete waste of time,
Yeah. I do like Diablo as a secretary. So I was like,
yeah, that has some semblance of like, oh, they're trying to write a gag. It's a bit.
Yeah.
It's actually a bit.
It is a bit. Let's see. I put, how does he have mechanical mice?
That is a good question. I mean, he worked on the railroads, but like clockwork is a completely different field. Would he have just brought mechanical mice with him back from like a toy maker in the city? From the guy who hates rodents?
I don't know.
See, this movie leaves you. It makes you ask questions,
which is
like
it makes you ask a good movie.
it makes you ask the hard questions in life.
Yes.
Like, why didn't they find gold on the property before? If they literally built the house with no foundation. We're getting ahead of ourselves.
I put like when the new cats like are able to capture Jerry and his nephews, like they were like about to leave, and then this what's his name? Clem. Then he's like, no, I have to like quarantine your house or whatever. And then Beatley's like, yeah, okay, sure, because Beatley's stupid. But I was like, when they were about to leave before that, like, did he think that they were done after they captured the mice? Because they didn't even look for the prairie dogs, and he was gonna let them leave.
Yeah,
I was like, he called them for the prairie dogs.
it's almost like the script like wasn't thought through. It didn't have any editors on it, perhaps.
It's the main reason he called them. I don't like why they couldn't just say, and it would give them a reason. Clem could have just said, "Oh, in order to get all of them, we need to like quarantine the entire area or whatever, so you guys can leave for a few days," and it would have worked the same way. Like it serves the same function. Like, unless the only reason was like, oh, well, we just want to get Jerry out of there, and then also do that stuff. I was like, I guess, but you could have probably found something else to do for Jerry. And because when he was about to kill Jerry, and then Betty, yeah, and she was just like, no, I don't want you to kill them. I'll just release them somewhere. I was like, bro, talk to your brother. like say something to him.
Maybe like get the fuck off of my property. That would have been good.
She wants him to live with them.
Stop being a little bitch. That would have been good.
Hey, people have their phobias. Like,
well, yeah, but
like I'm scared of heights.
It'd make a better film. Literally anything else would have made a better film.
That's not true. There could have been things that made it worse.
Yeah, name it. Go for it. Let's see what you got.
I'm trying to think of something that you hate. More children.
More children. Okay, so something. This might have just been my mind wandering because it was just such a boring watch. But I there were many times when it kind of felt like they were gonna go the incest route. No, don't leave, brother. I love you.
I'm not gonna dismiss you because I wouldn't say I just thought it was incest, but I was like, it is weird that she's so like she just wants him to stay like so badly.
Yeah,
I was like, why? Like shouldn't you be happy he's doing something he likes? Like what the fuck? It was weird. So I won't dock you for that.
They didn't commit, so it's boring.
To commit to what?
The incest.
Would you have
if it would have been a much more interesting film if they had incest in the TVG rated film. This would have been a much more entertaining watch if that were the case.
It would have been so outlandish. Oh my god, that would have been so funny. Let's see. There was one thing I don't know if you thought this was funny, but I thought that was the funniest thing that was in the movie was when the prairie dogs have a can and then they're like, after hours of research we have discovered
it's food.
Yeah. I really thought that, like, I don't know why, I guess I was just in the right mindset, but I started laughing. I was like, that's funny.
Yeah, your bar was so low for so long.
Yeah, maybe
that got you. Although I will give it credit, that is a bit. They wrote a bit.
Yeah.
And you know what? That is a good way to introduce Jerry to the prairie dog nomadic community.
Yeah.
So that was good. That's some halfway decent writing right there. I'll give him that.
Let's see. Did I just skip over a bunch of stuff while I was taking notes?
I don't think we'd notice if we did.
Well, I'm trying to think, because the next thing I wrote was, I wish moving was that easy. And then I was like, why did I write that? Oh! Because
the prairie dogs are moving, yeah.
The prairie dogs are moving Jerry into the town, because he's able to open the can of food. And then he's just like, now I'm part of your family.
And the sheriff. The prairie dogs just do everything for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then after that, I really wish Tom was smarter in this movie.
I just wish the movie was smarter.
That's also fair, yeah. What else happens? Like, they're looking for the deed because they want to burn it, so that.
Yeah. Also, wouldn't just like the town hall or whatever government facility oversight anything would have had a copy of the deed?
See, I wouldn't worry about that. I don't trust government like that. Like, Like,
well, okay,
I'm not saying like, oh, you need to overthrow the government. I'm just saying that like I don't.
Well,
like,
okay, think about it this way: in the lore of the movie, the mustache twirling villain,
sure,
literally owns the land of the town.
Yes.
So he could have very easily meddled with the government documents. And just, like, taken the government's copy of the deed and burned it, or whatever. Because he probably owns the bank, the city hall,
well, he owns the land.
The Mages Guild.
Do they... The Mages Guild? So do they just, like, rent from him, or, like, in terms of being on the land?
In that circumstance, I am tempted to say that anyone who wanted to build in that territory would have to pay either rent or a lease or something.
Yeah.
But, you know, I don't think the writers thought of that, so I don't have to. Also, they probably had, like maybe 2 writers, and they had a day. And they're like, oh, fuck. we gotta pump this out before we hit lunch because we have an audition.
Yeah. Like, yeah. What else happens? They fucking blow. I thought that was funny too. When Tom like does think of an idea, he's like, I got it, and he just blows up the ranch. I was like, okay, that's probably actually the funniest bit in the movie.
Yeah, like, we have to save the ranch, and the guy's hiding in the house. I know how to get him out.
Yeah, that seems very like classic, right? Like that was good. I will admit that was probably the funniest joke of the movie.
Probably,
like,
yeah.
Like, I think I laughed just because the bar was low for the other one, but that was actually, like, well thought. That was good. I think that might make the movie worse, because you can see nuggets of, like, some comedy in this, like, that are pretty good, and then...
There were some bits where they tried.
Yeah, and you're like, that could have been the whole movie. Like,
could have been.
Or would that have been worse, because then our bar would have been, like, average?
Okay, if this is on the negative side of the U curve, it's very low. It's like at a -1 at most.
That's fair. My mother is sleeping, and she's loud. I'll probably cut this out, but...
Yeah, we're pretty much almost done anyways. What else have we
got?
Why?
We want to finish this?
We want to finish this episode? Wait, Chris, you're a genius. We don't have to finish the episode. This is our podcast. We can do whatever the fuck we want.
Yeah.
We don't have to talk about Tom and Jerry Cowboy Up. We're free-thinking individuals who have agency and decision-making abilities.
Yeah, I put the time we actually don't talk about Tom and Jerry.
I propose a motion to stop the episode here and never talk about Tom and Jerry Cowboy Up ever again.
Okay, well, we could just finish off just what it was.
All right, fine.
I mean, we could talk about something else after, too.
All right, sure. What have you got? Well,
let me finish this.
Read your notes.
I put so that... What did I put? I put, yeah, they blow up the ranch. It's funny. Then they had to move because, like, they were getting kicked out because they didn't have the deed. I was like, damn, they moved fast.
But it turns out that the fake deed was fake because, oh my god, my dad's not Lloyd, he's Boyd.
I do like that they got the wanted poster that said for forgery. I didn't notice it said forgery before. And like, theft and stuff, or stealing, or robbery, or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, okay, that's like actually a callback to like earlier when they had that thing. Although I did think it was funny when they're like, oh my god, he's wanted for forgery. And it's like, dude, he robbed places. Like,
let's see, you're wanted in 6 states for murder, grand larceny, there's a little bit of manslaughter in there, horse thievery, and whoa, jaywalking.
Yeah.
You sick bastard.
Anyway, yeah, they arrest him, and then they're like, "Oh, he's bad."
The farm is ours, but our house is burned down. We're gonna have to rebuild it.
Yeah, then they fall through their floor, and then gold.
Oh, just a bunch of gold.
Yeah,
which is, you know, I feel like, okay, I know my bar is low, and this isn't like anywhere near anything quality or thought out, but that felt like a very undeserved payoff.
That was.
Yeah. Glad we can agree on that.
Yeah, compare all the others if we disagreed on.
They just didn't think it through, just how, like, we didn't podcast. Thanks for watching. You know what was fun? You know what's fun? Magic the Gathering. You know, if
there's a bonus section.
just maybe once in your life, just hit up your local friendly local game store and just buy in for like $15 to get in on a Friday night Magic. Have everyone teach you the ropes and how it goes. And you know, if it's not your thing, it's fine. You know, you tried it out. You tried something new. And you can move on with your life, but, you know, it might spark just interest, and you might gain yourself a new hobby. So, you know, check it out. Shout out to Magic the Gathering as a franchise and hobby.
I play Yu-Gi-Oh! Don't do it. It's not worth it. Yeah, so thanks.
Yeah, get me the fuck out of here, Chris.
Okay, yeah, it's fine.
Clap.